it's this kind of a satsang and this kind of a nama not only gives us the trust for nama, but also at the same time it's an incentive for us to recite his name more and more and more. And as we say, how the wind has the potential to move the clouds with all his strength. It's my belief, it's all our belief, that Nama has the potential to take us through this samsara of troubles, sorrows, joy, and with a very peaceful and a very fulfilled life. And one such example, which me and my family, we've had several experiences with chanting Nama. I remember as a child, my mother used to put for me a lot of black threads. I think throughout my body I would have had black threads, because she would say it is like a kavach, and drishti padadu, you want to get drishti. But from the time I started, or my family started chanting Nama, all the threads started coming out. We no more had threads, we only had Nama. Where, as I always say, that Nama is my kavach. And one such example, we had multiple examples, lots with my son Shashank, who's there on the wheelchair, and few with us as a family. It was one such blessed day of Ekadashi, and this was about 3 months back. We at Atlanta Namadwar, we have Akhanda Nama every Ekadashi, where we chant about 12 hours of Nama, and each devotee gets about half an hour. And so it's been from the time we started this Akhanda Nama. I'm used to having my slot. It's a fixed slot from 7 to 7:30 a.m. That slot doesn't go to anybody, nor anybody signs up. And so it's either 7 to 7:30 or 7:30 to 8, which mostly happens on weekend. And because of my classes and everything, I prefer choosing that. But on that day, very surprisingly, which has never happened in so many years, one of our closest devotee sister, she chose that slot. It was from 7 to 7:30 a.m. And I looked at my name. I said, oh, maybe I'm not signed, but this person has signed. And how should I go and ask her? That's my slot. You can choose anything else from the rest. So I said, oh, you know what? It's okay. Maybe today 7 o'clock is not in my thing. I looked for the later slots. I thought all the slots were full. And by the time I could sign the entire Nama, the entire, right from morning 7 o'clock till I think about 8 or 8:30, it was full. And another devotee sister who manages the Excel sheet, I asked her, oh, this is what it is. Everybody has taken the slot. I don't have. She said, oh, it's okay, Gayathri ji. You can chant, like, instead of 12 hours, 12 and a half. I said, I don't want to chant that extra half an hour where I want that, between that 12-hour slot. So it was on that constant thing in mind, maybe today it's not my day, I'm not going, and it's never happened that I've not chanted an Ekadashi slot. So with that in mind, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll just start off with my routine, and every Saturday I take my son to Decatur for his swim meet. So it's a long 30-mile drive, and we go. So again, my heart did not, let me, and I looked at the Excel sheet again, and the name which was for the 3:30 to 4 slot, it was all there in the morning. While I was driving, I'm like, oh, let me see, just in case I can go as a backup, just to chant. That particular slot was empty from 3:30 to 4. I'm like, oh, this whoever is the devotee, I think she has taken off her name. I'm like, and immediately I put my name. And we went to Decatur, and it's our ritual as a family that when we go to Decatur, we'll go to this chart house, everything, and then come home, then come to Namadwar. So that's pretty much our every Saturday schedule. And that day I'm like, oh, you know what, I can't go to this place because I have to log in into Zoom. So there'll be too much of sound. So let me start driving. And what I'm going to narrate to you is not fictitious, it's not dramatic. That's the truth that happened that day. And they say that, as in Tamil they say, Appo Nama Chonna, what is that, Kishoji? What does that say? Exactly. Apotiki podi. So, you know what? We have been accumulating our namas for months, years by the grace of our Gurunatha and Bhagavan. On that day, I saw it pratyaksham. I was on 285 West. We all know how 285 is. It's one of the most crowded intersection. And it is when you're merging from Decatur, it's always very crowded and forever there is work on that road. And it was 3:28 and I logged into the Zoom call. There was a devotee chanting before that. So I had told my son Shashank, now we are not going to play any music. It's going to be Nama. Ammal chant one line, you chant the next. So that was the preparation done for me and Shashank. So we, and exactly at 3:29, the devotee stopped and I started at 3:30. And me and Shashank were like, you know, very happily singing. And I remember there were a lot of cars behind me and there was nobody in front of me. It was like about 60 to 65 miles per hour and I was going very slow because first of all Nama was going on, so I could not go very fast. And all of a sudden there was a pickup truck which came with a single mattress, just a single bed, thick Dunlop mattress, and I don't know from where he came. And he just came from the right lane and he brushed to my lane in front of me. And I think he lost balance or something like that. But by then me and Shashank were like chanting as loud as possible. And we were like, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And as much as loud as we could go. Because, you know, as we said, we were just chanting. This pickup truck, it just brushed me in the front. He lost his balance. He took a 360 degrees turn on my lane. The entire mattress flew on the air and came and fell on my Dodge van, which is outside. It's a handicapped van. And it covered the entire mirror of my sheet. And it just came and I felt maybe, I was in a state of shock. You know, what is happening? I didn't know what to do. And the Nama continued and I immediately put a brake stop and I said, hey Gurunatha, this is what I did, and I stopped. And I had so much chills and Shashank was still continuing the Nama. That was the fun part. Even though I had, he's very wild. That, you know, whatever happens, if the direction is given to him, it's given to him. And to my surprise, I didn't know what happened. All the people behind stopped. There was somebody on the right side of the road. He stopped. It turned out as, are you okay? And I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And then I went forward and I looked at the gentleman whose truck moved 360 degrees. And I looked and I think he was fine. And the mattress went and flew at the shoulder. So the entire point of this is that I have never missed my 7 o'clock slot. Nobody has ever taken my 7 o'clock slot because that slot is my slot even today. Nobody takes it, 7 to 7:30. But that day, my devotee sister who felt she needs to chant there, and the 3:30 to 4 devotee has never missed her slot either. I have been looking at the sheets. But that day she didn't have to chant. And this accident happened at 3:33 p.m. So, I mean, what more I could narrate? I mean, there are so many examples which has happened like that, even with my son Shashank and with us. So, I just wanted to conclude this by saying that if you have unflinching faith in Bhagavan Nama, anything can change. Anything can happen. And more we meet as a satsang and more we meet as a group, everybody has that power of Bhagavan Nama, and we can, infuse it with all our namas and form this one huge prayer. So with that, I conclude my small experience and we hope to continue.